So guys, let's begin. So last class we had discussed about polymorphism, and there were two important concepts in polymorphism we covered, which is overriding and overloading. And overriding is also called as runtime polymorphism, right? And overloading is called as compile time polymorphism. Now, the next important concept I will start with is interfaces in Java. So, it's a very big concept, a very lengthy concept, which we are going to have a look at it slowly, one by one, in detailed manner. So, initially, you might not get the clarity why should I use an interface, right? You might not get the clarity. But slowly, when we start proceeding further, you will get an idea why we have to use interfaces in Java. Okay. But just to give you a quick introduction about interfaces, see, there is two ways to prepare the food. One way is you're at home, you're cooking food. So is everything you're only doing it, or you just placing an order? No, let's assume you're all alone. Don't think I'll tell my mom and she'll start cooking. You assume that you're all alone in Bangalore. You have one house, one kitchen, right? Your food you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of that yourself. So will you prepare everything by yourself? Chopping vegetables, getting groceries, washing vegetable, washing rice, groceries, all that masala items, XYZ things, everything you're doing by yourself. And finally, after doing the cooking, you eat the food. But when you go to hotel, what you do? You order. Do you really think about after ordering what they're doing inside? Huh? No. You just place an order, which means you just tell them what you want. And you're not bothered about how is it being done. You will just tell, I want pasta. They will prepare pasta. Correct. After 15 minutes, pasta ordered, placed, pasta delivered, kept on your table, done. You're just telling them what is required. You're not bothered about how it is being done. So somewhere we see here, the communication is abstract. The execution at my end is abstract, incomplete. I just tell, I want one pasta. I want one pizza. I want one pasta. Are you understanding now? Now, when we people are talking about I want pasta, I want this now, understand, I'm placing an order but not worried about how it is prepared. This communication is abstract. Abstract means I'm just worried about what is required. I'm not worried about how is it prepared. That's the meaning of abstract, incomplete. A very, very important thing about interfaces, if you ask me, I always tell one important definition about that is interfaces define what needs to be developed and not how it needs to be developed. So there's a lot of difference between these two statements. What needs to be developed? I'm just telling, okay, I want a login, I want a logout, I want this feature, that feature. I'm just telling what needs to be developed. I'm not bothered about how that login feature will be developed. What is the logic you're going to write in that? What is that you're going to do in that? I'm not going to do that. I'm just telling I want a login feature. My communication is totally abstract, incomplete. Now, how it is implemented? It is left to the developer who is implementing that logic. Like this hotel example. I require pasta. That's it. I just communicated. I just said what I require, what needs to be given to me. And the rest now, it's a chef who does the actual work of cooking pasta. Yes or no? The actual logical work of cooking pasta, who is doing it? Chef. But here, what are we doing as a customer? I'm just putting it across what I want. I'm not bothered about how it is prepared. I'm least bothered about how it is prepared. Now, I really don't know whether that was some 3-4 days old pasta. Was that like some ingredients which was completely, or today when coconut chutneys are prepared, they use all those coconuts which they break it in front of the temple, and then they buy that at a lower price and prepare coconut chutneys. When you eat it at hotel, it's very tasty. Yes or no? You just tell, look, okay, I want idli with coconut chutney. Now you don't know from where the coconut is procured, how it has been prepared, what has been done. While grinding it, one or two cockroaches also fell inside. We don't know. Yes or no? We are not bothered about how it has been prepared. We're just bothered about what I require. So that is abstract. Understand? Now, interface's purpose is abstract communication to the class. We're just telling interface, by using an interface, we're just giving an abstract information. You're not going to provide any logical things in that. Only abstracting what you want. And what you want will be implemented in the class. Like when you place an order in hotel, I want pasta. Now, the waiter will not come and tell, sorry, I'll not give you pasta. Since you have come to my hotel, you have to eat noodles and go. No, I want pasta only. No, no, no. Because you're sitting here to eat noodles only and go, you cannot basically get up and leave from here now. Security guard is waiting out there. Look there, they'll thrash you. I cannot do that. Right? It is like if the customer says, I want pasta, the fellow who's taking the order will tell, it's not there. I'll get up and leave. But when I say I want pasta, he has to prepare pasta only. He cannot prepare what? So it is like I'm placing an order. So interfaces are like placing an order on the class. I will just tell an interface what is required. And then I place an order on the class. And that class has to develop the logic of it. And that class cannot get away from it. Let's see one example. How does this work? Now, let's say I will just go back to Eclipse as of now. I will close all of these things and we'll start off with an abstract coding in interface which will define what needs to be done. Example, I already have some Java, classes here. So what I'll do now, I will build one interface. I will call this interface as notifications. Are you understanding now? And now what I will do, in this notifications, I will just write down what all notifications my software can send. When somebody does a booking, hotel booking, train booking, bus booking, how the notification should go. So I'm going to write here public void. I want one SMS notification. Another one I would require public. You notice, first thing, I'm writing a method and I don't even have the method body here. If I write that, there is an error. You're not supposed to write here the logical part. If I moment put the method body, our interfaces gives an error. Interfaces says you just define the method basically in an abstract way, meaning incomplete way. What do you want? Okay, SMS feature, no? So don't put the body. You cannot develop logic here. You will just tell what you want. What I want? One notification system to send SMS. I want one notification system to send WhatsApp. I want one notification system. I want one notification system to send email. Can you see any logic written here? I'm just telling what needs to be developed. Is it developed? It's not developed. It is not developed. This is like an order system. It is like an implementation system, an order system, hotel order system. Now this order, you are placing it to waiter in hotel. Now this order, I will place it on a class. And once I place it on the class, that class has to take this order, has to develop these logics and fulfill the logic. So this interfaces now that is developed is like an order. And this order, I will put it on a class. Now how will I put on the classes? In the class, I'm going to write here notification service notification IMPL. I'll just add the word IMPL. Whatever my interface name was, to that I'll add IMPL. So this makes a system that it is implementing notification interface. So whatever interface name is there, add to that IMPL. Make this as a habit. This is the conventions we use it in projects. So now when you click on finish, you see the class name is here. But now I want this class to take the order from interface. What I'll do now, I will just use the keyword implements notifications. The moment I do that, there's an error. All incomplete method from here are given to class. So this interface is now putting an order on the class telling that you develop these features, and you cannot get away without developing these features. Okay, so this is what an interface basic logic is. You just define what needs to be done, and how it needs to be done we can do it only in a class. A class cannot have incomplete methods. A class should have only complete methods. So we will inherit, override, press control 1 like this, press control 1, add unimplemented method. Now observe what happened. What happened? I'm inheriting a complete method, I'm overriding it and adding method body to it. Modification of inherited method in the child class using polymorphism. Did you understand now? And now here I can write the logic. Now remove any one. What do you see? I placed an order for soup, pasta, and let's say some one more sandwich, a salad. You want shoot salad? Salad. Three things. Now they got only two order. Will you accept? But the bill is given for three. Will you accept? What you will tell? Three orders were placed, but I got only two. Three orders were placed and I got only two. Will you accept that? Tell me. Will you accept that or will you not accept? Will you accept that or will you not accept? You will not accept that. You will not accept that. Yes or no? That is what is happening here. If an interfacer says this needs to be developed, the class has to develop that. And if the class does not develop that, what do you see here? An error. What you see here is an error. Did you understand this part? What you see here is what? An error. I hope this part you are getting it here now. One minute, hold on. Right. Everyone clear with this part? So now understand moment I implement that method, what happened to the error? Now here you will write some logic. As of now, we don't know the logic. How to send an SMS. We don't know the logic. How to send basically what? A WhatsApp message. How to send a logic to what? Send what? WhatsApp message. We don't have the logic here now. Okay, how to send an email. So I'm just writing some dummy code. So here what needs to be developed and here how it needs to be developed. So interfaces are forcing the class to tell what needs to be developed. And in the class, we write the code, okay, for the logical work. A class cannot have incomplete method, an interface cannot have complete method. An interface is always incomplete method and a class is always complete method. Did you understand the difference? Tell me what is the difference. In an interface, can I develop a complete method? If I put a method body, what will it give you? Why error? Because an interface cannot have. So what are you doing in an interface? First, you're doing a planning. What needs to be done? See, that's how life is, no? Life is all about first you do a planning. What needs to be done? And then we start executing that. Now, if your person is strong mentally, what he will do? He will first prepare a plan. That look, I need to do this in 10 months, in 11 months, I need to do this. And you just keep working on the plan, right? So working on the plan is a logical work. But that 11 months, what you need to do it now is what? An abstract thing. Yes or no? But what happens among most of the people? Plan is there, but execution is not there. So execution is not there means implementation is not there. You're not implementing it, but plan, you have a lot of plan. I'll become IAS officer. I will give government exams. In 5 years, I will become like, case officer. In 5 years, I will become like, plan is there. But that plan is abstract. That plan has no meaning until and unless the execution is done. The same way, an interface gives us an opportunity to plan what my notification system should have, and the implementation work we do it in the class. So should we start our work with interface or not? You tell me in the project. Whenever I'm developing any module in my project, should I start with an interface or not? I'm developing a hotel management system. There is a property owner who can upload the hotel photos. There is a property owner who can upload the property photos. Yes or no? Now this hotel owner who can upload the property photos, this hotel owner who can upload the property photos, what all features will you give to that hotel owner? I will first give him one method. We will see that example. Let's say he does a hotel booking. My software has to send notification. What all notification has to be sent? So I'm doing here. What needs to be implemented and how it needs to be implemented, I'm doing here. Yes or no? Now put a main method here and call that. So notification. Okay. Notifications. Right. Service notification IMPL. Okay, so let's take that notifications IMPL. Okay, what happened? Some spelling mistakes or some typo. How can we fix the typo? You know that very well. Take this, paste this here, right? I wanted the name to be same. Press Control 1 and rename the file. You know that very well. Yeah, Control 1 is a very important shortcut. N is equal to new notification service IMPL. So n dot SMS. Then we're going to write here n dot, right, n dot WhatsApp, and then we're going to call n dot huh, email. Okay, so let's click on run, and then you see this here. What's happening is it's sending all of these details. Is this clear, everyone? Everybody, did you understand this? Please tell me. Okay, no, my health, nothing happened. I'll explain this to you later. Okay, so this was not a medical emergency for myself. I'll tell you later in a while at the end. Okay, let's focus on this one. Is this clear, everyone? Right, so I was proper only. It was my father actually whose health got disturbed, and now he's all right actually. So we had to admit him to the hospital and things like that, and became little critical, but recovered now well. So he's discharged and now he's at home and is fine now. So that is where I, on a continuous holiday, because we were all in hospital praying for his health to get all right and things like that. Some procedure we had to get it done. There was some blockages in the heart, and we had to get that procedure done. Everything went on smoothly. He has recovered well. Okay, so that was a quick procedure, and then he got discharged yesterday night. That was the whole thing that happened, and we were all quite little disturbed with that. Okay, so I was totally fine only. Nothing happened to me. Don't worry. Okay, so a lot of students were also personally asking me that are you fine and things like that. So that was not the actual thing. I was not well just for a day. I had a bit of throat infection and things like that. But then even I was on a medication, but that was not something very major. The major thing that happened is I entered house, and then he started complaining of uneasiness, BP low, and a lot of things happened. Uh, Multiple things started, basically a little bit age factor and things like that, and we had to start rushing to the hospital. So uh, since the nearby hospital was there 10 minutes, I could reach the hospital. He was taken to emergency. A lot of medication started. Service was excellent from the doctors. Then we shifted him to ICU. Till then doctor were not sure whether it was very critical case. That is what they were telling. Then by 3 o'clock, a little bit the vitals started becoming normal. The next day he was a little normal. Then we got angiogram done. Then we got to know that the heart is not pumping the blood. There were some blockages in the heart, and then they had to do this angiogram, and then that stunt they had to put, things like that. So that all happened, and uh, now he's all right, recovered, but lot of medications he's on. But he's walking, talking, normal, eating food. So everything has got back to normal. So that was the actual thing that happened. Okay. So, anyways, everybody got this example. Okay, observe here now. So firstly, an interface can consist of only incomplete methods, abstract method in it. Got it? An interface can consist of only incomplete methods and abstract method in it. Did we understand this point? If you develop example, will this interface work? No. Why it will not work? Because you cannot give a method body here. If you put a method body moment, it will become complete method, and that is not allowed. That was still version 7. Now version 8 of Java, a lot of changes they have done. I'll come to that. Second thing, all variables in an interface by default are, okay, I'll come to that later. I've not discussed that yet. I'll skip this point for now. Interfaces defines what needs to be developed and not how it is to be developed. This is an important definition for interview. What is the definition for interview? Interfaces defines what needs to be developed and not how it is to be developed. Is this clear? What is the definition again? Tell me. Is this clear? Okay. Now see this here. Is this correct? Why correct? Method is abstract. Abstract means method is incomplete. Incomplete method is actually telling what needs to be implemented. That's the purpose of developing incomplete method. The significance of putting incomplete methods in interfaces is what you want in the further future logical implementation. What you want to develop. So method naming conventions plays a major role here. You cannot give the method names however you want, like test1, test2 and all. Give the method names very meaningful, because the method names will tell what that method is doing. Yes or no? Okay. Now observe the notification service. This is an interface. How many methods are there? 3. See, notification service IMPL. Look at the class naming. I've taken the interface name, added IMPL. Implements keyword. Inherits all incomplete method from an interface, and we are completing those methods here. Is this clear? We are completing all those methods here. Is this part clear? Everyone? Now, after that, we have a main method. So, we're creating an object, impl.email service, impl.sms service, impl. That's what somewhat we saw. Now, let's see one more example now. Imagine I'm building one online hotel booking system. So, first thing that I would require in the hotel booking system would be is an owner can upload the property. There are so many hotel owners. Today, even if I have an hotel, I can go to bookings.com, I can go to Agoda, I can go to Airbnb, I can go to so many other portals, and I can upload my hotel details there. As a property owner, I can upload my hotel details. In order to add my hotel details as a property owner, what features do you want to give it to me? Correct? So, I'm going to firstly build here something called as property service. This is the interface. And now what I can do as an hotel owner, public void, public void. First thing I will give here upload hotel information. This is the first thing I would require. Yes or no? I can upload the hotel information. Then public void upload photos of the hotel. Do you agree with that? The next thing, public void. I would require to set price for the hotel. Yes or no? I would require to do this. Then public void manage bookings. Manage bookings. Because it should not happen that I have only one room and 10 people have booked it. I should have a calendar system which can manage the bookings. If that booking is already done for that calendar, for that listing, then other people cannot basically do the booking again. Otherwise, there will be a problem, isn't it? Now, see, have I implemented any logic here? But by doing this, at least my mind started working, no? That what needs to be implemented. So, as a hotel owner, I'll give him these features. He can upload the hotel, he can upload photos, he can set the prices, he can manage bookings, he can delete the hotel listing, he can unlist the hotel, he can delete the listing, he can change the pricing. I can keep adding so many methods. Like set pricing, I can add another method. What will be that? What will be that called as? Change the price. Correct? I might give one more thing is weekend price. Because usually weekend prices they keep it high. More bookings they get. I'll keep one feature also called as weekend price. Then here upload hotel information. Then I can give here modify hotel information. Modify hotel information. Yes or no? Modify hotel information. I can give here, delete hotel information. Yes or no? Upload photos. So I can also give here delete photos. I can give you what? Delete photos. I can also give you change photos. I can give you what? See, Okay, so at least I'm doing this now. Again, I'm talking to the customer, tell me what all features you want. Customer will tell, okay, uh, uploading photo is there, modify features, delete hotels, upload photos, everything is there, but one feature is missing. Now customer tell, I also want a feature where I can view reviews. You cannot modify reviews, but you can view reviews. Every guest staying in your hotel can review your hotel. So I'll go here, I'll add another feature, public void, what is that, review. Okay, view review, view reviews. I did that. Again, I asked the customer, view reviews is there, anything else? Yes, reply reviews are not there. So now for every review he should be able to what, reply, reply what, reviews. Did you understand that now? How I basically just quickly decided what needs to be developed. But how it needs to be developed now, guys? I'll take this, I'll go back here, go to new class, and we will paste this here IMPL. I will paste this here what, IMPL. And now I need to make that interface place an order, which means implements. This class has to implement. So we will use your implements. And what we will do? We will use property service. But what do you see here now? An error. So don't, this error is because those methods which needs to be developed are missing. All that methods add here. Moment I added, what happened? Is the error gone? Yeah? Did you understand the logic here now? The whole purpose of interfaces are clear. Right? Did that at least give us some structure to do the coding? Yeah, some idea building features that needs to be there. At least somewhere we people are having clear cut idea that what all logic building I have to do it in my class, because I started with what needs to be done, planning, and then how it needs to be implemented I will do it in the class. If you directly start with implementation, then by the time I'm developing weekend price, set price, change price, I will forget only. I will forget only, because so much of logical things I'm doing it, I might forget to implement certain things. But since an interface is forcing me, this has to be there. I'll not forget. Like the chef, one customer not placing order, that chef is getting back to back orders, back to back order. If that order slips are not there, what he will do? I'll just tell him order one, order two, order three. Usually, what happens? They keep the slips there. Yes or no? That slips is like interface, and that implementation done by the chef is like, so you will not miss the order. That's the whole purpose of an interface actually, which can make your programming much easier and much, I would say, systematic. It'll make your programming systematic. Okay, this is one major advantage of what, interface. Everybody got this part? Everybody got this part? Did you get this example, guys? Everybody got this part? Please communicate with me in the chat box. Online students, are you all clear with this part? Please communicate with me in the chat box. Yep. Okay, good. Right, good. Okay, now we are going to proceed further. Now there are certain more things you should understand about interfaces. What is that? So let me go back now and let me delete this all. And there are a few more things about interfaces. That is, whenever you're developing an interface, whenever you're developing an interface, method has to be incomplete. But what about variables? So in an interface, you cannot create a non-static variable. Sir, why, sir? Why I cannot create a non-static variable? Because the variables, if it is non-static, I should be able to create object. And interfaces objects cannot be created. Why, sir? Interface does not have any logic. What will you do creating an object for such a component where logic is only not there? Correct. Methods are incomplete. Will you load incomplete methods in object? Interface has incomplete method. Objects, if it has incomplete method, then what is the point? Object should have only complete method. So objects are created for class. You cannot create an object for interface. Why you cannot create object for interface? Why you cannot create objects for interface? Because they are having incomplete method. See, I have an incomplete method. Public void test. Method is complete or incomplete? Incomplete. Now I'll go here. B. Now what I'll do is I'll go here and type main. B1 I can create. But A1 is equal to new A. Observe. What is it doing? What is it giving? An error. Are you understanding now? I cannot create an object of interface. That is not possible in Java, because if I create an object, you are telling this incomplete method should go to object. Come on. What is now? You come to my classes and I'll just give you syllabus and send you until you're ready for placement. Is it okay? Syllabus is abstraction. Implementation, we are doing it in actual class. Yes or no? If I just give you the syllabus copy and tell that you're ready, are you done? Where is the implementation? Without implementation, there's no point basically further. But syllabus is like our planning, and classes that I'm taking is the implementation of that syllabus. Yes or no? It is something like this. So you cannot just take the syllabus copy and start giving interviews. You cannot take that syllabus copy, put that in chat GPT, prepare a Q&A and tell that I'm ready for interview. You cannot do that. Yes or no? If you want to give interview, you have to be like a class, because the class has a complete information what you're doing. So object creation of interfaces are not allowed. Did you understand that? So if objects I cannot create it, can I keep non-static variable here? If non-static variable is there, without creating object, can I access? You cannot. That's why what they did, every variable that you create in an interface, by default they are static only. Static int x, and they are final. Static int x, and they're also final. So this variable that you see here, static int x, they're basically what? Final. Are you understanding now? Since it is final, I did not even write the final keyword. You write it or you don't write it, doesn't matter. You write it or don't write it, doesn't matter. Remove this. Still this variable is final and static only. Because it is final, we see an error. Why? Initialization is mandatory. Very good. Error gone. Now, even if you write here final, even if you write here static, observe what do you see here? What do you see here? Huh? You see here, basically, there is, okay, no error. Even if you remove it, don't think it is non-static. It is still static and final only. So, only variables allowed in your interface are final and static. Final means value cannot be changed. Static means belongs to. So, you don't require an object creation here now. Since it is static, I can access with interface name. Yes or no? Any error? No error. Did you understand this part? Everyone clear with this part? Please tell me. Go back here and see this now. All variables in interface by default are. Hey, this is a very big topic. This will not get over in one class. So mentally be prepared. It's a very lengthy topic actually. Okay, so we'll require a lot of classes to cover interfaces. What is the first definition? Can you read this? This is only till version 7. What do you mean by abstract method? That is where oops third concept has started without your knowledge. Yes. Right? How do we achieve abstraction in Java? What is abstraction? Incomplete methods that you're defining, where there is no logic present inside that method. That is what is abstraction. Why are we doing that? Some answers has been given already. Right? So some answers been given. It will result in good designing. Yes or no? Correct? But we'll come to that definition in a structured way at the end. But third oops concept has started. Abstraction. Okay? Read the next slide. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with this line? Do you all agree with this point? Interfaces are like contract that a class follows, and the class has to implement these methods. Do you agree with that? It's like I'm putting one contract. When interface puts a contract, look, these methods should be there. Okay? An object of an interface cannot be created because an object of interface cannot be created because object cannot have. Did I explain this part? We'll come to this part loosely coupled later, but it forces all implementation classes to have. I'll come to this part in a more detailed manner further. Okay, so do you want to practice this much? Do you want to go through the notes, practice? All of you? Or should we continue? Your call. Huh? Something you have to type. If you say yes, no, it doesn't matter. You tell me, should we continue or should we stop? Continue or stop? Continue or stop? That's only two options that you have it here. Huh? Okay. Okay. We will stop the lecture here. We're going at good speed. Don't worry about that. Practicing is very important. Just taking the classes is not the solution. When you practice, you understand the topics well. Right? So practice this much. And the speed of coverage is excellent. See, we're in the 15th class, almost near about 3,000 lines of notes has been covered. You're not compromising with the speed. So don't even worry about that. Right? And 15 classes of Java, 3,000 lines of notes covered. That's a good amount of speed because we are doing zero writing. All that writing you have to do going back home. So be serious about it. Is this clear? Everyone, be serious about it, practice well, and prepare.